Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to go through building out our storage array, and what we're going to use this for is storing all our items and our liquids within our AE network. So we went ahead and kind of built out this little frame, and we also hollowed out little basically holes equally along the floor where we're going to have our tower of essentially it would be ME drives. So our ME drives, we went through the basics of them when we went through our last episode, which was how to basically get your basic applied energetics network up and running with less than 8 devices, and then tying in a little bit of your controller if you want to go more than 8 devices and tying it off there. So we built a whole bunch of these drives. We actually built a whole stack, so 64 of them. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to go place them now in our, basically in these holes. And so we're going to have towers of drives laid out through in our base. So what we've done is we built this above, and we also built like a little utility room below where we're going to run all our cables and long run down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, we're not going to connect this to the rest of our network yet. We're going to do that later. What we're going to do is do a P2P tunnel, which we'll go through here. Probably in our next episode, actually, we'll go through P2P tunnels, at least the ME ones of them. And that's how we're going to use our one core network to run our entire base. And it'll be basically an ME network within an ME network. And it'll allow you to transport things very easily. So let's see here. So we're going to put it right in the middle. So we got 6 on that side and 6 on this side of the holes. And we're just going to put ours right here. So we're going to put a dense connector, which will allow 32 connections. And this is what we will join into our ME network, which will connect to our controller probably in the next episode. But for now, we're going to wire it up. And we're going to run our dense connector down the middle. How do we want to do this? Yeah, we'll run it on the side. So our dense connector here. And we'll put our dense connector going this way. Perfect. And then on each of these, what we're going to do is we're going to just have one hop. Actually, it'll be 2 hops out and up. And we don't have the right ones. So let me go see what do I have here. I'm just going to grab them from here. So we're going to grab some smart cables. And since we used orange, we're going to go with orange again. And I'm just going to grab actually a stack of these for simplicity. And we're going to place them here, and those will join in. And because of the same color, they will connect. And we'll put this here. And we'll put another one here. Here. Perfect. And so we got them all laid out, all connected. In the end, this will be more than 32, so that will actually not work the way we have it laid out, but we're going to join, we'll join this in the end slightly different, actually. I think we'll end up putting our P2P network will come out a different color. So what do we use? We used orange over there. How do we want to lay this out? So we go dense cables. And I'm going to grab a few of these green guys here. And the reason I'm going with a different color is because we're going to tie this in the end differently. Yeah, we'll do this. And this will actually end up being, we need a smart cable. Smart green. So what we're going to do, we'll go through this in the later episode, but we'll end up with, we're going to do probably 3 stacks on each side, probably 3 or 4. Let's go with 4 times 6, 20. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll put 4 stacks of drives on each of these pillars. We'll be up on them. So that would be a total of 24 channels over here, and there'll be a total of 24 channels over here, which is a total of 48, which is too much. But what we're going to do is we're going to tie this green cable in with our ME network. Into our controller and everything else, which runs into the other room, which I can show you here in a sec. And we're going to do a point-to-point tunneled or P2P tunneled ME network for each of these from there. So it will all work out. We'll go through that part in detail later. For right now, we're just going to go put the drives on top, and then we'll go through the storage and different types of storage that you can build on top of that. So we'll take our stack of drives now, and what we're going to do is actually just start towering them up. So we'll put what do we say? 3. I think we put one more. Yeah, so we got our 4 there. We'll do another 4 here. I'm just going to try and place these as fast as possible, not to take up too much time. I'm going to stand on top of this. I think we can get the rest. Excellent. This one placed upside down. There we go. If you're trying to place multiple objects on top of each other, you can just hold down the left shift, and you notice that's what I do. So I'm actually crouching when I do that, but it will allow me to then place the object rather than right click on the object, which is very handy. Can't do that. We're going to... However, when you're flying, it also is your flying down button is your shift, or at least is mine in my case. So it's a little bit annoying, so that's why I'm keep going up and down. We're just going to finish getting all these. I've got 2 more stacks here. Put these. And we got these 2 down here. Perfect. So now that we got our data center, which is going to be kind of cool in the end, so we'll probably do like the left side will be all disk or items, and the right side will be liquids. We may even go probably maybe down to these 4 rows or something. We'll put some signs, I think, throughout it and kind of label them or something later on. So once you have your drives, much like we did in our test network, we have our drives. We need to make some storage cells which go inside, and they determine how much or how many items you can actually store within there. So you start off by building the storage component, and the storage component goes into your storage cell. There are different sizes. We're going to go through the basic one first and get that going from there. So to do that, you need 4 redstone around the outside. You need 4 charged Certus quartz crystals. And we can probably put together a little quick episode on how to do the charged ones. There is a charger within Applied Energetics that you can basically place an uncharged crystal, give it some power, and then it will turn into a charged one shortly thereafter. And then you do need 1 logic processor, and that will give you your 1K ME storage component. That component then goes into your cell to make it, and it's made by having your component, which we just went through, the 2 quartz glasses, along with 3 redstone and 3 iron along the bottom. So with these storage cells, so we're going to grab, we can grab this guy right here, and we're going to grab also a fluid, which is very similar, much like our storage cell will allow us to store items, the fluid one will allow us to store fluids. So it's made by having, in this case we used 4 blue dye, but you can use lapis lazuli or any other blue items that you can substitute most of them out. You can always look up the recipes and just confirm which it is, but most blue dyes will work along with lapis lazuli. We need the 4 charged Certus crystals, and again we need a logic processor in the middle. That will give us our fluid storage component. Again, the fluid storage component goes into your fluid storage cell, and that's made by having your 2 quartz crystals on the top, some Fluix dust, which is made by putting your quartz or Fluix crystal into a pulverizer and breaking it down, along with having 3 Certus quartz tanks. So we're going to grab those 2. And that kind of gives us the basis for what we need, and we need to make a lot of these, unfortunately, so we have a lot of storage, and we can place them in either side, and now our network will allow us to have storage for both fluids and for items within our network. So both those items help a lot. I'm just going to quickly go through from the NEI interface here. There are different storage levels. So you can see there's a 1K, which is what we built. We can see a 4K, which is 4 times the amount of storage. There's a 16, which is 16 times the amount of storage, and there's a 64, which is 64 times the amount of storage. And if we go down to the liquids, again, we can start at the 1K, which we did, 4K, 16, 124, and then there's even larger ones actually with the fluid. And we can also branch into the extra cells, which will allow us to branch out beyond the base AE network storage cells, we can go to extra cells, and we can get bigger item ones as well, which we can just store crazy amounts of items within there and go from there. So again, all the items do build off each other. They all do, much like we built our components before. There are components for each of these, and they do stack. And building these can be a real pain. So we're going to actually not build any more than we have to, and we're going to build the automation shortly that will craft those for us, hopefully automatically, and get this going, and then we can place them all within our network here. So we'll probably use our other base that we have to craft all these, and then bring some of the base materials over, and then we can get all of them auto crafted, because we probably need, we have 10 per thing, 10 times 4, yeah, we got 40 per side, we got 80 total, I guess. And depending on the size we want to make, that could be a lot of items and materials. So we need to get the rest of our network up. We got to get our storage going. We got to get either our laser drills and other stuff going too with that. So we're going to start building a lot of things quickly and tying that into our network here to get these items pumped in there. So hopefully this helped just on how you can lay out a little bit of a data storage network. And in our next episode, we're actually going to do the P2P, tying in what we just built over there into our storage network over here, which will show you how to do the P2P ME tunnels. So hope all is well. Again, let us know how we're doing. Put it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you soon. Thanks.